Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling one of the oldest, most fun questions out there. Boy or girl? For literally centuries, this has been a game of tradition, folklore, and let's be honest, a whole lot of fun.
It's the question, isn't it? The second you tell people you're expecting, the guessing game begins. Friends, family, your grandma, everyone has a theory. It's such an exciting part of the whole pregnancy journey for so many people.
You know, for as long as we've been having babies, we've been trying to get a sneak peek. These signs and symptoms have been passed down for generations, creating this rich, kind of wild tapestry of folklore. So today, we're going to explore that tradition and see what it's all about.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the great gender guess itself. Then, we'll dive into all those fun and sometimes weird tales and signs. After that, we're going to switch gears and look at what actual science says. And finally, we'll get to the real takeaway.
Okay, let's kick things off with the great gender guess. This is all about that excitement, that shared experience of looking for little clues during the pregnancy. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the signs themselves, we got to get something really important out of the way first.
Let's just put this right out there from the get-go. All the sources are super clear on this. These methods, these old wives' tales, they are not scientific, not even a little bit. We're talking 50-50 odds, basically a coin flip. So as we go through them, remember, this is all just for fun. Think of it as entertainment, not a diagnosis.
All right, with that big disclaimer in mind, let's have some fun decoding the folklore. What are these signs and symptoms that people have sworn by for ages? We've broken them down into a few categories.
Okay, first up, physical changes. You've definitely heard the classic one. Carrying low and all out front, that supposedly means it's a boy. But the tales get even more specific. Getting more acne than usual? Or is the hair on your head growing like crazy? The old school thinking was, oh, that must be the testosterone from a baby boy. Of course, hormones do all sorts of wild things to your skin and hair in any pregnancy, but hey, in the world of folklore, these point straight to Team Blue.
Then you've got the cravings and just how you feel. Are you reaching for salty potato chips instead of a bar of chocolate? Tradition says that's a classic boy sign. Folklore also claims that boys give you less morning sickness, though I bet there are plenty of moms of boys who would have something to say about that. Even things like having a bigger appetite or noticing your hands and feet are colder than usual get thrown on the "it's a boy" pile.
And now for the last category, which has all sorts of internal signs and even habits. A fetal heart rate under 140 beats per minute is a really common one you'll hear. But others are a bit more, well, let's just say they're unique. Everything from the color of your urine, to which side you prefer to sleep on, to feeling more aggressive. It's all been linked to carrying a boy in these old stories. It's just a fascinating collection of beliefs, isn't it?
So, we've had our fun exploring all this folklore, signs related to everything from your food cravings to your cold feet. But this brings us to the most important question, the one that shifts us from tradition to today. Are any of these signs actually reliable? Can you count on them? And that brings us right here, to our next section. It's time to separate the folklore from the facts. Let's see what modern medical science really has to say about finding out your baby's gender.
And this chart, this really says it all. On one side, you have the old wives' tales. They're based on tradition, totally anecdotal, and their whole purpose is just fun and guesswork. Then on the other side, you have medical tests. These are based on actual science and biology. They are highly accurate, they have a very specific purpose, diagnosis, and they work. It's two completely different worlds.
So what are these scientifically proven methods? Well, the big one everyone knows is the ultrasound, but there are also incredibly powerful genetic tests. One is called non-invasive prenatal testing, or NIPT for short. It's really just a simple blood test from the mom that can give you a definite answer.
For so many parents, this is the number they're waiting for. 18 to 20 weeks. That's usually when you get your big anatomy scan. And if your little one is feeling cooperative and is in just the right position, this is often the moment of the big reveal. A sonographer can see the gender with a very high degree of accuracy.
But what if you just can't wait that long? Well, check out this number, 10. As early as 10 weeks into a pregnancy,
Genetic blood tests like NIPT can determine the gender with incredible accuracy. I mean, that is a total game changer. It literally cuts the waiting time in half and gives parents answers so much earlier.
Okay, so we've gone from fun folklore to hard science. Let's pull it all together now. What's the real takeaway from all of this? When we stripped everything else away, what truly matters?
And really, this is what it all comes down to. Whether you're having a laugh with the old traditions or you're waiting for that medical test result, the goal is always the same: a healthy, happy baby. The real joy isn't in the guessing game, but in the entire journey itself, and in that incredible moment when you finally get to welcome your new little one into the world, whether they're a boy or a girl.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. In our modern age, with all this incredible science that can give us a definite answer so easily, why do we still love these myths? Why do we find so much connection and joy in these old stories? It's a pretty interesting question to ponder. This has been The Explainer.